like Andrew Bashago, which I met when I met Ken, Janet Carroll Lesson, Dr. Alexander Sasha Lesson, and actually Tommy's met these people.
Yeah, TJ, we actually met each other back in 1967 in some of the conference meetings where we had Dr. Ivona von Braun and a few of these others. If you were there, would be with me sitting in the very back of the room to keep our little mouths shut until we were tested to find out that we were actually contributing to the getting to the moon and back that Kennedy wanted us to do. So you and I have crossed paths many times in just a few short years that we've been doing since I'm only 77. I'm still a young fellow. Let's keep going.
Well, I'm 10 years younger than him, but yeah, we were in the same spot. So I can't explain that, Kimberly, but Tommy, if you can put this all together, Ken and I did meet, and we've talked enough for hours of some of the things we did. It's sort of spooky, but yeah, you can doubt anybody. Tommy, you know what I mean, on anything any of us say, but Tommy, see if you can pull it together.
I'm hardcore. I dealt with so many people in the UFO world for about 40 years now. I know a lot of them. The ones I was closest to are all dead. So I have this viewpoint, which I base it on people that I know, the people that I meet, the people that I work with. Anyone that's telling the truth, important truth, the government does go after them, period. Whether they live or not is a different story. And I could give you 6 names right now. I can give you 10 names of people that I know as well. But they all were taken out. Now, when you talk about things are important, to me, what aliens are doing is the most important. Working with the government is not what I consider important because that's going to happen no matter what we do. And they're not saying how many people get abducted. Now, my best friend, Lisa, she worked with Bud Hopkins, and she was abducted for a whole year. Bud Hopkins started becoming famous. He wrote his first book and everything. He hung out with her for the year as well. He never had an abduction. He wrote more books than anybody else about abductions, and he knew nothing really personally by experience. So when I talk about experienced people, I was friends with a lot of people close, like even Larry Warren, who wrote Left at Each Gate. They attacked him for 10 years. He couldn't prove he was alive. Then he finally released Left at Each Gate 10 years later. Now the people around him are saying he's fake, he's not real. He was on TV. They showed him on the base. I mean, he has a recording that was filmed when the ship landed there. I mean, he had proof. I deal with a couple people that have solid proof. I was working with women that actually lost their children. So, yeah, there's bad things going on. And to say that they can't get involved and all the stories that you hear is, to me, is garbage. Because now, here's one last thing I'll say about that. John Ford is in the nut house. He shot the best video ever shot of a UFO crash. I saw it. Now, nobody gets to see that, and nobody in the UFO world is trying to get him out of jail. I know Peter Moon talks to him once a month, but every year the government comes in, every year they come in and say, well, he needs to be reevaluated. People in the UFO world should be getting him out, but he is the most dangerous person because he has an actual video of a ship crashing with aliens laying around it. So, yeah, they don't want that video out to the public. He's got 4 copies of that around the world. And nobody's going to get to see that unless he dies. So they're not going to kill him, but they're going to keep him in the nut house. But I talked to people when I got involved with MUFON. They didn't even call him, touch him. They didn't want to go near him. People are afraid of people that are dealing with important things that the government is definitely against. And the truth is, number one, what aliens are really doing to people on this planet. And I know because I work with regression, and I did all those things as well. I did psychic implant removals. But the people that are getting abducted do get programmed. And I challenge people directly. I said, okay, I know you said you don't have proof. Very few people have proof. But the people that are experiencers that work with these aliens, they have no proof either. So if you're with a friendly race, they can't give you a shoelace or a button or even a tie clip or anything, or a piece of their hair or anything. So it's complicated, but like even Bigfoot, nobody's proven Bigfoot's real. Every hair that was ever turned in, they said it was a bear hair. And I say, basically, how do we know that they don't have DNA like a bear does? And that's the bottom line to that. So we have this battle going on. And I mean, disclosure will not bring anything important to the world. The only disclosure that the world, I'll say this because this is really important. The only disclosure that's going to be important when an alien race comes here and they tell us what they're going to do to us. Period. Not anything else. What the government says, I know for a fact the government had 2 wars in space with alien races. I know that for a fact. I know people that were involved with it. So when people say, well, this and that, they're good, they're going to work with us, it's all mind programming. Show the world one thing that an alien race has ever done for us in 20,000 years. They have not did one thing important for the human race. Weapons and technology for weapons is not good for the human race.
Well,
so, yeah,
we're here, aren't we?
We're here, but that doesn't mean anything.
I say we're all aliens.
Well, we
may be hybrids. We may be walk-ins. We may be ETs. We may be good.
We
may
are
be
all
bad.
hybrids. We all are hybrids, that's for sure. It started from the very beginning. If you stop and think about it, if you look back in the biblical times, and I know that that's a sore subject with many, with being politics or religion, but my thing is, Jesus was a hybrid himself. You had God that impregnated Mary, a virgin. Well, you tell me what God is if he isn't an alien.
Well, you know, off there some other time, I'll debate you on that in a second. My last book is The True Teachings of Jesus from God Realization. I live with Mary Magdalene. I was there the whole time. I watched went down. He wasn't an alien. He was a human being. He never said he was God. He had 32 psychic abilities, which he didn't use half of them. Mary Magdalene got his powers and had to teach the rest of the disciples. Nobody in the Bible has a clue to that. So, yeah, I'm a rebel. I'm teaching that. That's what my book is. My last book I put out, my fourth book. But I was there, and I go back to Atlantis. I mean, I have all awareness of all my past lives.
Yep, me too. There, I was there with Christ, and I was there at Atlantis as well. I've had regression therapy myself. So, and well, yeah, I do spirit writing.
I have direct awareness, but in Atlantis, when I was there were 9 races here. 5 races left, 4 races stayed. The red, black, yellow, and white race stayed. The other ones that left were colors, and they all became gods. Shiva, Green Tara. I mean, they all became, one of each race became a god in the lower realms. But see, people have to travel those realms, which very few people do. And I challenge people on that too, because I can tell you what you're going to do when you get there. And people do their exercises, do their work. If they work out their karma, they'll be able to get out of the astral plane. And they'll be able to
I carry the Tara energy, a part of me, and I don't say that I am Tara, but that is my higher soul name. And there was green Tara, white Tara, blue Tara, red Tara, and yellow Tara.
That's 21 faces of Tara. That's still Tara.
So that was my higher soul name. But I also remember being in the Egyptian pyramids and underneath them and being initiated in what people would now call Thoth. And Tommy gets me on the Ennead 9 all the time, all the attributes, because those are memories of helping people learn the metaphysical world, which we're doing right now.
Well,
so I claim a Metaphysical Institute, and each one of you here right now. I would suggest that all of us are from somewhere that we could say, even though we're human, and we trace back to our parents, their parents, vote all the way back, Tommy, just like Kimberly said, and you said, you're both right. Because I believe we're all from somewhere else. Even if you break it down into quantum entanglement and quantum mechanics and quantum physics, and you want to argue how much of us are carbon-based or helium and hydrogen first, which is what all the kids today have been briefed in, mostly in high school, and they're much more intelligent than we ever were because they're at a higher level. And now the kids coming with computers are going to know all these stories, so they're not going to be just programmed and cut off from the rest of the world that we were in the 50s and 60s in the United States when we were going to the moon. So here's the dilemma in this world is that now, and they're trying to control us with this internet, by the way, folks. I hope you guys wake up in another reality. That means that if you're in the UFO ET business, here's what it's really about. The same thing it's always been about, whether you're in Atlantis and Mu or here now, is the fact that those that will know, that have ears to hear will hear, that have eyes to see will see. And that this is a learning planet. However, we're doing the same thing we've done, and there's going to be people that don't hear us tonight because they do not have any access to the internet. So there's a big war going on this planet right now, the same one we've always had before we nuke ourselves, and that's for control and the information and the communication of that. So if you want to get involved, please find out the people in your area. Now, this is a political year in America, and the whole world's watching until 2024, but let's say by 2020, we are going to have 2020 vision on each other, because we're going to know who has the information and in communicating it to others that do not have access to the internet. Right here in America, there are at least 60% that have no access. You can live, I saw a television show, you can look it up, What the F Happened to the Internet. It's a television, no, it's a documentary, What the F Happened on the Internet. It's on Hulu, I think, or Netflix. But this guy does a great job, and he walks into one of these hotels where he does an interview, and they stay at the hotel so they can't throw him out, and they finally get him out with the sheriffs. But he said, I'm staying here anyway. But he was exposing this group called ALEC, and I'm not going to go into the details, but they are the ones that lobby, take all the people that lobby all the big corporations' money, and they help get these bills passed that while we're out here playing the donkey elephant game in America over politics, the bad guys are the ones that are controlling the world with all their money and all the corps. And I'm pro-corp, or I am pro-business, or give us jobs, okay? So I'm not preaching that. But what I am preaching is those that have will have, and those that don't will not. They're going to try to keep even AT&T, and I've always been pro AT&T, but there are places that they cannot serve, and these people don't have access to the internet. Some guy in Cleveland, Tennessee, they have families within 100 yards of a pole with fiber optics up there, and he can't even get it. It's not 100 yards from his house. So, and I've been there in Kentucky, so I know this. And Mitch McConnell running Kentucky, and he gets paid. They call them grants on the side. All these politicians are getting paid on the underside through ways around the system, calling it different things, but they're payoffs, folks. And this is the way it's always been. So a lot of people in the government that are wearing uniforms, a lot of aliens, whether they're in uniform or out, whether they're white, gray, white, red, white, blue, we don't care anymore, because we're all getting together and realizing what's good is good, what's bad is bad. And that can be the person next to you. So I'm all for us just do the best we can, stop pointing fingers, stop playing the stupid donkey elephant game, and meaning you'll figure that out. But look at some people that are really doing some damage, and stop looking at each other and playing the stupid games of pointing fingers. That's the game that's programmed inside the matrix for all the people, and we call them dog and pony shows on the inside of the government and on the inside of politics, with all the people that are really controlling the money. Okay, now I'm saying this when I'm flying first class, flying over the gold mines in Africa. All right, I'm one of those, okay? Been there, done that, got that T-shirt. I don't want it. I've had millions on paper. I could have been bribed to be a billionaire right now. I wasn't. So I've been hurt. I've had people taken from me. I've had my throat cut. I've had my back broke. I've been in uniform. I've been out of uniform. And I'm telling you, it's still all about love and communication. And God bless us, because I don't know who else there is out there. So if y'all want to, let's work together, because there's so much pain and dying, and I've been through so much. I don't think I can stand much more, folks. Ahmad, get in here. I don't want to come back here. Do you, Ahmad?
I'm not coming back.
No, I'm passing mine in too. No, I'm good.
I've too many times recycled. We've been recycled enough. I think hopefully we've learned enough that we can move on to something better.
Right. And can I touch on something real quick? The reason I'm going to say this is because everybody questions as to what the ETs want with us and why we are abducted, and that's to seed and reseed places. Because I believe that they no longer have the sex organs and things like that because of the chemicals and the radiation that's been they've dealt with for so long.
Yeah, look what we did up there. We've nuked ourselves and had to have gold in our area, just ridiculous, so we can keep our planet safe. So now we're out. You're exactly right. We're out terraforming, and even the Mormon Church knows that, and so do the